Welcome and good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Turbo Tuesday, right?
Third Turbo Tuesday follows Manic Monday, and yesterday wasn't so manic. We had a relaxing day off and an inauguration ceremony.
Yeah. And everybody was worried yesterday about futures and no Bitcoin executive order, but it'll be okay.
Just give it some time. I mean, he's already said so many things. I mean, they had a cryptocurrency ball, for God's sake.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, I actually
That
haven't
is
seen any of the
very true.
pictures from the ball. Have you? There's got to be
No,
some
I
footage of it
have
or
not.
something. I'll be looking for that later. See what I can repost. That'll be fun. Oh man. Well, here we are. Another fantastic week. I caught your weekly roundup last week, and it seems like we are just about ready to take off here in a lot of places. We're right underneath resistance, right?
Well,
In a lot
I
of
think
places.
the majority of things are above their weekly resistance from last week, and I'll just jump into that right now. With the
Cool.
SPY, we can see that it closed Friday above that conversion line, and we go on log scale and also the 585. So yeah, and we see pre-market almost up 600. So I think we're looking like the possibility of continuation is there, back towards all-time highs. And we go to the QQQ. You can see same exact situation. Looks for a continuation back towards all-time highs as well. But as long as it stays above the conversion line now, we can see price continue higher. So the 517 here is going to be the target to stay above for the QQQ, and the SPY it's going to be the 592 to stay above. And then the IWM, it's trying to get back above this 786 here, the 226.74. So that is really the target. It is 226.72 pre-market, but that's still a little bit below uh, resistance. So we'll see if this is going to be the week to stop lagging behind and go higher. So yeah, I think the IWM is really the only thing that's still stuck a little bit under resistance, but it has potential to go higher as well. But the good news is the lows look like they're in for all the indices, and it looks like there can be just if it doesn't break out, just at least some consolidation at higher levels before they attempt to break out further.
Very cool. I'm hoping. Let's see. Is it my turn?
Yeah,
I've
go
got.
ahead.
Let me show you guys the SPY. Here's the SPY. Here's the 2020 March 2020 pandemic low, and I really look at this as a reset for the market. So let's just trace from whoops down there to up here. So here's your wave one, your wave two. Fix this right here, and then now we're in wave three, right? So this is the wave three start. This could be a one, two, and then inside of the third wave of another two. You know what? Let's just do it like the 3, 2, 2, 3, 6, 1, 2, 3, 6, and then 2, 2, 3, 6. So I see that we're in the heart of the third wave, and I'm looking for basically 2026. Probably. Let me just move this out a little bit. What I'm kind of thinking is that price is going to extend higher all the way through 2025. And then I've been looking at this Larry Williams report, and he kind of says the same thing, that maybe we'll peak somewhere in early 2026, like that. And for some new higher highs soon here. And you can kind of start from right here again. See how this looks like the pandemic reset? We have this August 5th carry trade reset as well. So we can go in closer. And I want to do this on the Triumvirate show tonight too. So I'm kind of prepping for that with this little thing here. Just follow along with me. And if that's your 1-2, and I think the reason I'm bringing this up is I feel a lot of the individual stocks that I've been looking at, they look like they've had their 1-2, 1-2, like the larger degree 1-2, like the big one, the big two, and then like the smaller degree Roman numeral 1-2. And so a lot of them are ready for their heart of the third wave, which is the longest, strongest part. So I'm looking for just from here through the end of the year, like some of the best parts of this. And so from here, let's say 618, actually, because of the larger scale, 1382, let's go 382, 236, 1236. And that kind of looks like all of it right there. Maybe I should do it as ABC. Let's just do it as an ABC. I know some of you guys don't like it when I take up this much. This is pretty crucial for the entire year from now. So look for something like this where maybe we get a high around March, April, like a new higher high, but then it tests back in the summer, and then after that, it just goes to new all-time highs by the end of the year. And that's what we're looking at for the general market, and a lot of the different stocks will follow the same way. I think we're going to see things like Tesla. I think like cyclical production maybe will take off first, and then I think chips, semiconductors will come in a little later. So in fact, it might be that just as Tesla peaks out here in March and starts to fall, semiconductors might fill in the gap. Oh, semiconductors and energy. So just look out for that. Let's just say, I'll do this later for the show. You can go back to showing something else, Matt. I'm just going to make a little note here.
Yeah, I just wanted to go over Bitcoin here.
Oh, please do.
So let's go to, yeah. So the focus still for Bitcoin is this 103,611, the 1.272. That's going to be the focus for the week. It tried to do it last week to close above it, but it did not. So we are still under resistance. Well, technically it's over that right now, but these are weekly candles, so it can go over and under throughout the week. So we need to see where it's going to close on Sunday for a weekly candle close. But it does look strong. It is back above this conversion line still at 99,260. It also went down to 99,462 yesterday during the inauguration. People were panicking like, oh no, there's no executive orders. But the chart's strong, guys. The chart is strong. It's just trying to break resistance. So no fear from me. And I think the possibility to regain its strength is there once it can break and close above this 103,611 for the week.
Yeah, and I was saying Tesla might peak in March. Crypto may also have a small peak in March along with it. Tesla and Bitcoin really like to follow each other closely, and then it makes a higher low and then takes off again. So
yeah, that is
the general advice here is for the first half of the year, buy every dip, and then more caution towards the end of the year. But still a bullish year overall.
Yeah, that is possible. Let's check out Tesla. Speaking of Tesla here. Let's see how that's pre-market. So it's 434.19. It was a strong weekly candle close on Friday, and we can see that it's above previous all-time highs back in October or November of 2021. And I think this is a strong look. So we can take a look at that Ichimoku, and despite the volatility last week, it closed back above this weekly conversion line at 407. So this chart is still extremely bullish, and there's really no reason to assume it wants to crash because it's above all the indicators. It's above previous all-time highs. And as long as that continues, then I think the trend will continue higher. So this is looking like a very powerful move coming soon for Tesla.
Oh yeah, and it's that powerful move I've been looking for like the last 3 years. Um, let's see. Let me just show this chart real quick, which you guys are surely familiar with by now. Back here from 2021 to 2022, we had this consolidation pattern that ended up in an explosive move that moved 195% higher than it did from its top here to this bottom, and then retraced past it. So I'm looking for a potential identical move over this last period of consolidation for 414.50 back to the 101.35 low. 195% higher takes us to $711.77. And look, we're well on our way. If you just kind of look at the way this arc went, see how it starts to really go, and then it just explodes. We're basically just still in this part here around like September 20th of 2021. The explosive part hasn't even started yet. It feels explosive, but I think there's more explosion to go. This could be like if this is maybe this is like A, B, and now we get the C that just runs and runs. So that's what I'm looking for in Tesla this summer, or at least starting in March here, up through March. And then here is this smaller, that is not the right one, right here. The smaller degree chart I did, this is kind of interesting. I went from where price was in the small consolidation pattern here in November to December. I'm sorry, this is early November. And I did a small, I looked for the point of control in this zone, and it's this bar right here. And I just took the price from the point of control here to the peak that we had here in December 18th, December 17th, December 18th. And then I went back to this consolidation zone, and I found this point of control for this area, and I took this arrow and I said, well, what if we've got a measured move off of that from this point of control? That takes us right to Matt's 141.4. So I really like the, confluence there, right? Now, all I did was I took 100% up here, called this 0%. So if this extends to 141% of that, we could get a peak top right here at 536.36. And even just getting back to previous high 488.54, Matt's 127.2% extension or a retracement past that takes us to 520. So I'm looking for a potential new amount of price discovery inside this box. This could be like a new dark around price that it slips up to 536.36, perhaps on the initial move, or maybe like the second move. And then we get stuck underneath 520 for a little while. And a liquidity grab down here before it breaks out again. And we get my first wave 3 sub 1 high. 607.87 is what I'm looking for just the, here's your wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 sub 1. And so then, of course, it just keeps going from there. This chart takes us to 1,000 and 1,105 for the 2382. But just over, I mean, I really think it is kind of over this period here. I think I extended this about right. So through the March could be the peak. This peak might actually not come until later in the summer, perhaps. But sorry, I'm just thinking, yeah. But like the March peak, and then a bit of that low testing, and then it breaks out on the way after April or so. All right, that's my Tesla prognostications. Sorry to be so verbose there.
Yeah, no worries. And let's do a request here for HEMS that I see. And HEMS, it's just building a base on top of previous all-time highs here, and it's bullish, right? It's a very bullish chart. The February 2021 high, it's basically just building a base right on top of it, and this is beautiful. Previous resistance flipped to support, guys, so I think we're looking at a continuation, and support has been holding for weeks, right? For many weeks it's been holding, and that story doesn't look like it's going to be changing. So the target for me is going to be maybe coming next into the 30s and the 40s. Well, it's got to get past the previous high up here. So that's going to be maybe some resistance first, the $34 range. And then after that, it'll be the 46. So good developments for HIMS. And as long as 2540 continues to hold, I believe this will go higher.
All right. Benny's making me blush there, offering to do anything I want him to do if Tesla hits 711. I've got Rocket Lab on deck here. And my wave one, I started from down here at $4. I'm sorry, $3. No, what is it? $4.18. Up to $22.55 down to $16.32 for the wave two. And so now I see us as being in wave three. And we already hit the wave one, wave two, sub two of three. And so now we're in the longest, strongest, except it did, starting into this wave three, it kind of fell over and we got an extended wider flat. Not a wider flat because it didn't come all the way back down here again. But it's the wave two's a little long. So this wave four would take this turn, might be kind of sharp. Whoops, not that sharp. It doesn't go backwards in time. I swear, sometimes these, anyway, when I change time scale, are these 5 pulse 5 wave paths get mad? Yeah, so then the wave one sub high, and we have not made any new lower lows. It's just higher highs and higher lows. So I'm still looking for 35.91 next. Oh, come on, really? And with a test back to 32.77, and then 39.03, right about there for the top of wave three, all of wave three basically. Then wave four, usually because of how this is like the 618, this would come back to the 764, about $30.30. So from almost 40, it could retrace to almost 30 again. Actually, look for it to stay mostly in this zone above 31 with like one wick that just touches down there before it takes off again. And then my Rocket Lab takes us to the 2236, 57.40. So none of that's changed over the last couple weeks. This is the major path I've been following it for a while, I think. So there you go. Rocket Lab, look for 34-ish next, maybe as much as 36. No, I'm sorry, yeah, 36-ish next almost.
Yeah, Rocket Lab looks pretty good. I'll just take a look real quick. Yeah, it's still holding the conversion line there. It's getting back above kind of the angle again a little bit, but again, this is a new week, so it still could be some kind of resistance up there. So I see it trying to go back towards the all-time highs, but it got rejected by the blue level there of the GAN, so it could take some time to break out. So it might just be in this range for a while, whether it needs to retest the ARK or below at 23s or go up here. I don't really see it breaking out too soon, so it could just be stuck in this large range of $23 up to $30 before trying to break out further. All right.
Yep, and I see Cipher mining. I've got a Cipher mining chart on deck. It's the same chart that I've had for a while because, again, this one got built. Where are my fibs? My fibs are gone. Maybe they're in the wrong time scale. No, they're just hidden for some reason. I'm sorry. But basically, here's my wave one top, my wave two bottom, and then wave three sub one. Looks like we're still trying to get there. Let me just push this out. I'm looking for 847 next. And then back to 556 before pushing up to 1317, 1026. If you've seen this in the last few weeks, it's exactly the same chart. Nothing's changed about it. Except maybe, I don't know, this wave two might be a little sharp. Let's see if we can get some movement in Bitcoin here soon. Bitcoin. Sorry, it's like as soon as I look at the Cipher mining chart, I have to go back and look at my Bitcoin chart. And we did get a retest of the all-time. and pushed a little bit higher. So where's my next thing? I'm looking for 116,000 next for Bitcoin, but it could be stuck in a Darvis box here for a little bit still. Just from this high to this low. Yeah, see how it tested back to this 50% level right here. We could, yeah, I want to say 100,000 is the bottom now. Let's just say we're stuck between 100,000 and 108,000 for a little bit, but 116,000 is my next target. All right, so there, and that kind of factors into Cipher as well. It's just going to take a little longer through this wave too.
Yeah, and Cipher is getting more and more bullish, being on top of the weekly Ichimoku cloud too. Let's see if it can stay that way for the whole week. But with the next request, I see Jasmy. It's a crypto. Let's go to that. Yes, I have shown this again before, and I mentioned before that I got rejected basically from this orange level. Right, there was a bullish engulfing up, but then it got rejected and it came lower. And now it's basically inside the weekly cloud, and it's maybe going to retest the 50-week moving average at the 0.248. But here is my 45-degree angle right here. This has a potential to be hit. Right, this was a previous resistance back here, flipped to support, so there could be another test of this angle one more time, maybe in the lower 2-cent zone. Right, or depending on time, it could just go sideways until it goes there as well. But that was a pretty good rejection right here at the 4-cent range, 0.044. So this is looking like a potential to just stay in this range right here until it's really ready to break out. But yeah, it's part of a bullish structure that we can see for Jasmy. So I think just give it time, maybe some weeks, some months before trying to break this 4-cent barrier one more time.
All right, I've got DXYZ on deck here. Destiny with a large exposure to SpaceX. Somebody else asked me about other stocks with exposure to SpaceX. I did a reply on that. I'll have to go back. I haven't had time to look at those, but there are just a couple other tickers that might be interesting. But DXYZ here, I'm still seeing this being in wave 5 now. Wave 3 is done. A very, very short wave 2 or very long wave 4 because of the theory of alternation and wave theory. And then, yeah, my wave 5 target is somewhere between $90 and $114, but it really does look pretty good for the $114 as this hit the 123.6. This one just came a little lower, but it seems like we found support finally on the 764, so the 2236 would be next. So 114.61 next for DXYZ. You can see we're battling inside the Ichimoku 8-hour cloud, but price is over my moving average 75, so that looks really good. And look, moving average 75 is also the baseline on the 8-hour chart. Very cool pieces of confluence. You can see there's a planned resistance zone where Mr. Market is willing to sell you their shares between $65 and $77 as we approach the previous all-time high. And that's DXYZ.
Yeah,
I guess I should. One more thing. I did really quickly pull two point of control, visible volume range profiles across here, and the point of control ended up being right here at 41, and then the new point of control for the wave 4 is right where price is just underneath, right here at $61. So get over $61. Test to it as support, and this thing can start going into the red zone up here, 65 to 70. It's just a sell order block. All right, sorry, Matt.
No, I just wanted to show my DXYZ how it's still getting rejected by the 786 Fibonacci. So this is 6207, and it's underneath it still. So it's just in a range still underneath resistance right here. But I want to see it break back above that 6207. Otherwise, it might just still be stuck in this range. So this is something that I'm watching carefully for DXYZ. Break above this 786. Break above. Break above. All right, I see another one for NPPTF. Neptune digital asset. Oh, I do have a GAN for that. Somebody requested that a while ago, and yeah, it's breaking above some levels here of the GAN. So for a penny stock, this actually looks like it has potential to go higher. Right, it's breaking above the ARK here. If that can maintain a support in the 70s, maybe like 77 cents or so, then yeah, they could go to the blue target above in the 160s, right? So I think
Double your money.
yeah, I think it's got potential, even though it is at a previous resistance zone up here. You can see the previous candles over there back in 2021. So once it can break through that, then it can go higher. But it also already hit that blue level once before back in April 21. So it is possible to go back there. And the chart is bullish. So yeah, for a penny stock, I guess it's a good one.
Just a quick note about trading penny stocks. If you haven't done it before, if you start accumulating, I mean, it's a little late to be accumulating it now, but if you start buying a bunch of it, when it's time to sell all of it, if you wait for the top, you'll never sell it all. So you need to sell it into strength as it approaches Matt's GAN horizontal line there, and not just wait, unless you're planning on holding it and you think it's going to go even higher than that. But if you want a quick trade, sell it into ahead of that 176 target or whatever, that horizontal line he's got there. Don't wait till it hits it, because then you might just be holding some bags as it collapses really quickly in price. All right, I've got. Do you want to do another one? I think people like it better if you do like 3 years to one of mine, because I take so long. Oh, I think you're mute. Oh, I don't hear anything from you there.
Okay, so yeah, ARKK I think is what he meant, right? Because I see ARK in there, but I'm pretty sure it's ARKK. Let's see. So yeah, it's breaking out above or near the 200-week moving average and the top line, the blue arc of my GAN. So that is basically right around current price. Yeah, 60.46, and it's at 60.64 pre-market. So this actually has potential to break above and open a weekly candle above resistance. And if that can happen, then I think good developments can happen for ARKK to continue to the 65s and this $68 zone. So ARKK is looking more and more and more bullish.
Man, I just love how much I've gotten used to reading your charts.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this chart looks good.
It looks really, really good. Perfect back test. And people are also talking about TEM. Nancy Pelosi loaded up some call options on that, right? And it's up to 41 pre-market. It's still not that great of a chart yet. I mean, if you look at the daily chart, you can see all it is doing is going back up to a previous resistance zone right here, right? We can see right around here, it's a previous support, flipped to resistance already one time, and it's right back out there. So is this something to be excited about? Not really yet, because it can still go a little bit higher, maybe even up to like the 42s, 43s. Where this previous support zone was. So it's nothing too exciting for me. But yeah, if you got in when Nancy Pelosi did, I guess that's fine. But does it have potential in the longer run? Yeah, I'm sure it does, because it's not really making lower lows from back in July, right? It's kind of holding a floor here at the 32 right there. So it does look like it's finding a bottom, but it doesn't look like it's really ready to explode higher either. So these kind of charts, shorter term, they can go either way, but really, once it starts getting above all these averages and above the weekly Ichimoku in the 50s, then I think it has a chance to go much higher. But in the meantime, it's just stuck under a lot of resistance for TEM.
There is something to be. I'm sorry to interrupt, Matt. There's something to be said for when you're under resistance like that, and you know it's got to get over those. Where's my brain today? Those moving averages lines. So it kind of feels like the market wants to test it. So it might fail the first time, but it still means it's got to get there. So yeah, there's a really good chance it could go from 35 up to 45 and then reject it the first time.
I think even up to these moving averages right there, the 47, 48. There's a potential to get up there
Yeah.
too, right? But they are sloping downwards. Everything does look like it probably won't go through the first time. So just yeah, don't chase, because the opportunity was this bottom down here. Like, this was a clear bottom indicator right here, where it was basically trying to hold this for a long time. So this was the opportunity to say, hey, I'll take a chance down here because it looks like it doesn't want to go lower.
Yeah.
And if you did, you would have been rewarded, right? But now that it's up here, it's like, it's not so attractive anymore, you know.
All right. I've got ACHR on deck. This is a chart that I put out publicly for everyone. That said, hey, look, follow me on this. If you make money, you can spend a little bit of that profit to subscribe to me. And here's what happened. The chart has transformed. Originally, I was looking for ACHR to run up to about, I think, a wave 5 to about 15 or 16. I can't quite remember. But it looks like what happened was this really was the wave 5. And then we got an ABC down consolidation. So now, whereas before I was looking at this as my wave 1, 2, and then into the 3, because this fell lower than the wave 1 top here, I decided to make this all, this is just my 1, 1, 2 now. So Archer Aviation, basically the chart just got bigger, and all the move up to where it struck that high of 1247 is the wave 1 top, and then back to $8, $7.99 is wave 2. And so, actually, wait. I guess it got bigger in this way, in that I thought this was the wave 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, because clearly my wave start is down here. Yeah, beginning of time. So here's the 1, 2. So wave 3 sub 1 is up here. Wave 3 sub 2 is there, and then my wave 3, all of wave 3 target is up here at 1637. Instead of a wave 5 target, it's now wave 3 target. And so the wave 5 target is all the way to 2368 now. So from where price is right now, about 161% higher to the wave 5 top, about 81% higher to the wave, all of wave 3 top. So here you go. I'm looking for 1637 next. And you can see all the sell order blocks on the way here. Resistance up through 10. Then it will probably pop up a little bit here, and then its resistance up under 1120. Maybe a good thing to do would be to grab your fib retracement tool and go from this bottom right here and pull it back up to this high and put Matt's now famous fibs on here for the fib retracements that go past 100%. And your 127 goes to 1370, which will be support later on my chart. Yeah, so maybe it like runs up to 141, 1434, tests back down to 100%, 1248, and then goes on up here. Oh, I like that a lot. I love that narrative. Let's put that down here. So from here, let's look for ding, ding, ding. Actually, no, I think it was more like ding, 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 back to 100%, and then up to there. Oops, I didn't mean to do that many. Something like that. Take a screenshot if you want. It'll last longer. Pull this out of the way. All right, what do you want to do next, Matt?
I saw that we missed
ACHR.
fossil. I'm gonna do fossil here. So fossil, it's going down pre-market, and we can see that the 50-week moving average is right below it at 166. So that has potential to catch it, because it already did catch it before as support. And also, when you go back in time here, you can see this is a previous resistance right here, flipping to a support. So this has potential to hold as support. So this 166, 165, or a little bit lower, that zone is essential to holding, because if it is lost as a support, it's probably going back to the 140s or the 130s. So we do need to be careful of it. But this looks like it has potential to be more of a bullish chart now, simply because it's making higher highs and higher lows, higher highs, higher lows from the bottom in 2024 in April. So this is looking better and better, but you can clearly see what happened. It just got rejected by the weekly Ichimoku last week and the conversion line, and now it's going back lower. So it lost the cloud as support, so now it's resistance. So now it's just really stuck in a range. So we have to just see which side is going to break. Is support going to break and go lower, or is resistance going to break and go higher? But the trend of this chart for the high time frame is just kind of a perpetual downtrend right from the very beginning. So we got to be a little bit cautious here, but it does have potential to go up to this level up here, right? This major level that was a previous support flip to resistance back in the 265s. So if this support holds at the 50-week moving average at 166, then I can see it making its way back towards the 265 level. But anything beyond that is just speculation at this point because this chart is still in a perpetual downtrend for infinity, right?
I've got a fossil chart. It's got some confluence with what you just said here.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it as the wave one. The wave start was down here at 75 cents. Yeah, and the wave. I'm sorry, wave start, wave one, wave two down here at 97 cents, and then it. I see it as being wave three is complete. Wave four test back. There's a fibs distance between the wave one top here and this wave four there. And as long as it doesn't make a lower low than $1.58, I think it just wants to keep testing higher. Matt talked about that 165 level. I'm sorry, 265 level previously was support. It did hit this wave three came almost up to test it, and then threw it back down here to see where the support was. I kind of see it as the support is now found. It's going to return back up there, and then eventually break over it. And so my wave five top is 329 next, with some consolidation back here, maybe to, I don't know, 230s again, 218, and then it could build higher again. So we'll just have to keep track. Obviously we've got better charts than Fossil, but if you're in it and if you got in it down here, then you're doing pretty good. If you got in the 120s, yeah, I think it wants to go to 329 next. And if it does, come back to me and ask me again.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it doesn't look so terrible anymore like it used to, so it has potential.
Yeah. Oh, for the record, Dan, my tea doesn't. It's not ginger turmeric. It's honey lemon ginger. And I'm sorry, I'm a little flummy this morning. I just haven't drunk my water.
All right, go ahead and do one more tracker before I run away forever.
All right, let's see. Let me see. Does my Coinbase chart got any developments on it? Not well, sort of. The wave two kind of got a little lower here, right? Wave one, wave two. Oh well, look. See, I thought we were going to get a diamond here, and look, it just went perfectly to my 382. So from the 764. Perfectly the 382 at 244.22. Now we're headed back up. So you could pull one of Matt's retracement fibs on here to kind of predict the path that it takes up here. But I'm overall looking for 501 next for coin, which means Connell is going to be even better. Let's do that retracement because some of the short-term stuff is what you guys like me for. Right there and right there. So let me get rid of this little bullish W off of there. Let's say, let me go with, let's use this tool. All right, it's initially rejected by the 50% level. Maybe it comes back down a little bit, but eventually it's going to get back to the 786, back to the 618, 100, 786. Let's look 7, back a little bit, 141, back to the 100%, and then on higher. So if you want just some predictions for short-term price action to go by, I think, let me make this bigger. Sorry. I do stuff on my phone, and then by the time I come back here, it looks really small. All right, there, take your screenshot. I think you could get twists and turns that look a lot like that. That's a pattern I've seen happening a lot with Matt's retracement fibs. Once you get back over to once you get back to the 786, it tests back down to the 618, and then back over it. And then it wants to get over the 100%. And you can, as you can see, 100% resistance here, makes a new higher high, 141, and then back to the 100% for the support again before going higher. All right.
Yeah, coin is good.
Yeah, and it's very bullish on the MCDX Plus down here on the 8-hour. Basically, on any time scale you look at, the weekly, 90% institutional buy-in and less than 1% retail. It's looking great.
Yeah, and just one thought for me before I end the show and run away.
Ooh.
It's gonna coin looks like it's gonna open up above the conversion line too. So what was once a temporary resistance could be a support again. So the next target could be the 318.95. So I am looking for all-time highs within the next few months or so. I think it's going to get there. So that's what I'm focusing on for coin. Super bullish chart.
Super bullish. Hopefully you guys bought coin and Connell when Matt and Kat and I were talking about it, and we were buying it. And even now, though, it's not too late to buy some. It's flipping resistance to support. It's a great time to buy some more.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, guys. We'll see you tonight for the Triumvirate at 7:30 Eastern.
Yeah, it's gonna be another fun one. And,
yes, it will.
Yep, I'll get my stuff prepared in advance.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Take care.
All right. Good luck out there today. Happy Tuesday.
Bye bye.